What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing, man? That's Crunchy Riot. What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing, man? That's Crunchy Riot. What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing, man? That's Crunchy Riot. What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing?
Happy holidays, everybody. Glad to welcome you back to YouTube after being on Rumble for quite some time. As you can see, we took a different approach with the, as far as the environment, we changed it up a little bit, make it more consistent than the previous ones. The plan was to have a guest on tonight, but unfortunately, we had three plans. It was plan A, plan B, plan C. Plan A was to bring on one particular guest. I'm not going to say any names, but they were going to come on. We talked weeks prior, but they ended up flaking. The second person, we reached out to them, but they didn't respond. And then the third plan, or plan C, was to, we recently just got back from a Splash Gala. Uh, the plan was to find somebody there interesting enough and, engaging enough to have on the show, but that plan failed and even kind of took a turn for the worse, actually. As someone who's been kind of bugging me, wanted to be on the show, but I declined them as politely as I could, but I'm not really good at, doing it with my facial expression, so they took it the wrong way, and I'll talk about it more on Rumble. I don't want to get into the specifics on YouTube, but for the most part, to sum it up, all three plans, they failed, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys that's just a part of having a brand, and a lot of people are not gonna prioritize it the same way as you do. So just keep that in mind whenever you're doing something. Being independent, doing your own thing. Like, not everybody gonna see the same, not gonna see your brand the same way that you do. So just keep that in mind. Don't take it personally. It is what it is. I got some Whataburgers, so I'm gonna, go to work on that while I spin the wheel as well and answer some, questions regarding fashion, Christmas, and some intimate questions regarding, like personal, values, or even how a person like me may emotionally feel. So we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get started. So let's see what we get. Okay. What quality in someone makes you feel instantly safe? I like that one. I would say definitely like someone who's, engaged, asks more questions about you. So whenever like they want to, like, let's say somebody wants to know like why I'm interested in a certain thing or artist or whatever, and they keep asking more questions, it's like, okay, like you care. But I feel like nowadays, like what a lot of like relationships lack, not even just like romantically, but friendship wise as well. The mystery is definitely kind of dissolved compared to like back then, where you kind of just really had to like dig deep and get to know somebody to like know that they're, involved in a particular work, or they're involved in a particular crowd. You really had to like do the work to like get to know somebody back then compared to now, where all you gotta do is just get their Instagram and you can kind of see you know, what you like and dislike in that person. Where would you spend a perfect Christmas night with someone special? Christmas, I would say where I want to spend a Christmas night with someone special would be maybe like New York or something, Hawaii. I feel like Hawaii is nice on Christmas. Um, I feel like it's a different pace from like the typical snowy cold Christmas like Hawaii is like, the chill, you know, like 80-degree weather Christmas. Like I feel like that would be cool to experience with someone special. That's just me personally though. What's your favorite compliment to receive? To be honest, men rarely get complimented on their physical appearance. At least like up front, they don't all the time. Some do, but like for some, it's a little bit, or for most, it's rare to like get compliments on your physical appearance. So I guess like compliments on things I'm not used to getting compliments on. So like maybe someone says like you have nice eyes or something like that, or you have nice ears. Like I guess it'd be like a nice change of pace to hear something different, from you know the most common compliments. To compliment something that's like rarely observed by anybody. I feel like it takes a different type of like person who like pays attention deeply to things to like recognize something different on a person that's different from everybody else. Okay, this is new. If you could wear one, if you could wear one brand forever, what brand would it be? I mean, do you really gotta ask me that question? I mean, you know what brand it would be. But I will say this though, shoes, because I haven't had the chance to like make my own like signature shoe, like as far as like the whole silhouette designed by me, like Crunchy Riot, whole shoe brand. Like I haven't done that yet. But if I had to pick a shoe, it would have to be Osiris D3s. Osiris D3s all the way because I like bulky shoes. I raised myself on skate culture and really digging skate culture and the look that it provided because I mean a lot of y'all probably won't admit it, but skateboarding it really provided the blueprint for a lot of fashion. So whether y'all want to admit it or not, like it's true. Like as far as the whole look, like a lot of like brands like Louis Vuitton, what's that one brand that copied Osiris D3s? Feel free to remind me in the comments. But yeah, there's a bunch of brands that like, they took from skate culture. And I'm not afraid to say I do the same. The only thing is I'm a little bit more blatant and I'll even admit it. But the other brands, they won't even admit it. You just kind of have to just either know or you don't. But Osiris D3s all the way because, they have that style that I aim for. And on top of that, like the brand itself is like really like down to earth. Like a lot of the things I'm interested in and be like, liking on like social media, they're into the same things. So I feel like I could really like, you know, um, if like we would collaborate, we could be more cohesive because we have the same values as far as like, how we see independence within the individual. What's a small holiday tradition you would like you would love to start with someone you care about? I would say this like about I want to say like this past week I saw this couple they're wearing matching pajama pants. So I guess like having like a tradition where like me and my significant other, my girlfriend, my wife or whatever, wear like the bomb clothing from the line from the I can't think of the name right now because I'm kind of tired right now and exhausted. But with the bombs and stuff on the clothes, like we could wear that on the holidays. We match, get comfortable. Wear like sweatpants, long sleeves, hoodies, ugly sweaters, all that, and go see a movie because a lot of like entertaining movies come out during Christmas. They may not be the best movie, but they're entertaining nonetheless. So maybe go see a movie, spend time with family, go get some food from whatever restaurant is open. So, just, making small like little traditions, and then like maybe making them more extravagant as like we get older. So like instead of like going to a movie, maybe we can go to like Hawaii on Christmas, as I mentioned previously. Just little things. Just like, or something simple as what I'm doing right now, like with the whole decoration on the table. Little traditions like that. Stuff. Just the little things. Intricate ideas. This is definitely new. What piece in your closet? Well, excuse me. What piece in your closet do you wear when you want to feel quietly powerful? I say maybe like a tracksuit, you know, like a tracksuit or a polo like this that like fits my body and like, complements my frame. And not even just like any polo, but like a polo that like stretches to the body and doesn't like, require you having to like kind of like stretch it to like where the threading is like, being pulled apart, and now the threading's all loose and you can see the little pieces and stuff. So yeah, I'd say like between like a polo or a tracksuit. This is a Whataburger cookie. I never had one of these before, so y'all gonna be y'all gonna experience a genuine reaction to this. It's not bad, but they're definitely not competing with Chick-fil-A. Anyways, we don't got too much longer, so we're gonna try to get through at least like three more before we head out. That one. Just answer that one. Okay, this is new. What's your most romantic Christmas memory? Hmm. I really hate to bring this up, but I'm not too, prideful or egotistical to admit that last year when I was dating a particular person, we went to see Christmas lights at Highland Park, and that was nice because I never done that with anyone before. So I would say that's probably like the most romantic Christmas memory I have. I never really spent Christmas with like any other girls besides the last one. So yeah, that's probably like the only one that's like memorable. Hopefully, I can make a new memory within like the next 4 years because I don't want that to be the only memory. I mean, we'll see though. Okay, this is new. How do you like to be shown someone cares about you? Um, Attentiveness. Someone who like, they remember things about you. When I think I might have talked about this earlier, but like when someone like pays attention to like the little things about you, like they like you enough and care about you enough to like pay attention to like the things you like, the things you dislike, the things that would you would think would make them feel good, even if it doesn't, it's the fact that you went out of your way to like think about them and, take the time out of your day to like do something thoughtful for that person. It varies for everybody, but for me, like, you know, you don't really, I haven't experienced a lot of people who like had that attentiveness. So whenever you experience it, you're very grateful for that. And that's all I can say about that. I'm about to wrap it up though, because I'm getting tired. I kind of want to go to sleep. My eyes been twitching lately. Apparently, that's the thing. Whenever you're not getting enough sleep, your eyes start twitching. What what part of your style says this is the real me? Probably my shoes, because I feel like the shoes really like kind of like like your pants, your shirt, like that could be rearranged and that could kind of reveal a part of yourself. But I really feel like where you really get to know a person, or where you really can get a small, excuse me, where you can get a small taste of who they are is the shoes. When you look at somebody's shoes, they tell you everything you need to know. That's a true statement. You look at somebody's shoes, it's going to tell you everything you know about a person. So if somebody got some raggedy shoes, I don't mean to be shallow. Typically, you shouldn't judge nobody based off of this, because you never know what someone's going through. Kids, whatever you take from this, don't judge nobody. And if anything, make sure to ask them questions before you come to conclusions. If you have the resource or the necessary funds to, feel free to chip in and get them some new shoes. I've done that a couple of times where like I would trade in like some brand new shoes that I have for like some shoes that someone else has that have been like skated in or something. So feel free to like help out with people whenever they are less fortunate or don't have the opportunity to do themselves. And I would say also another thing that also says that's the real me is probably my the accessories. So like I wear earrings. You can't see them now because I got on headphones to make sure that I'm hearing the audio clearly while I'm talking. But I got earrings on right now that have like my logo. I'm gonna try to zoom in on the camera, so y'all can see it. But yeah, if you can see it. Shout out to Panther City Gold. Shout out to Joseph Reed for, you know, getting the earrings custom made for me. People be asking me about these too, and it means a lot that people actually notice. All right, so we're getting kind of close. So I'm gonna answer one more, and then I'm gonna be gone. Okay, I think this is new. What's something you used to hide, but now own proudly? Probably my quirkiness. The fact that I have niche interest and niche music tastes, an acquired taste for certain things that the majority won't really be attracted to. So, like previously, like I want to say, like maybe the first like 5 years after I started my clothing brand, I would like hide the interest that I had because I felt like they would offend people. Because during the time like COVID happened, like I was like kind of scared to like share a certain side of me, or even if I was, it wasn't really getting the results I wanted. So I would kind of like hide certain parts of myself. But now that I'm like older and kind of approaching my late 20s, I'm just learning not to really care anymore. Because at the end of the day, your tribe's gonna find you. The people are gonna find you. It may not be now or within like a year or even the next 5 years, but it's just the fact that like when when you are your authentic self, you attract like-minded people. But when you're being a masked version of yourself, you're attracting maxed version of other people. So I'm just at a point in my life where I just want people to be authentically themselves around me. That way I can not only discern people better, but I can also detect who really is genuinely here for me and likes me for me, and not just, here to just use me for resources or for their own beneficial value, if that makes sense. That's just how I feel. If anything that I want all of y'all to take from, watching me develop my brand is that not everybody's going to be on the same page as you, and it just is what it is. Not everybody's going to see the value in what you're doing. And I'm pretty sure you're used to, some of you are experiencing this right now as I'm speaking. Some of you are probably grasping the concept of it, and then some of you have not yet, but will have to experience this. But a lot of people are going to flake. A lot of people aren't going to see the value. They're not going to prioritize your brand. They're going to have other things going on in their life that they're going to feel are more important than what you have going on. And that's totally okay. Don't get mad. Don't judge, because you don't know what someone's going through. And if you want to know, ask them. And importantly, when you're asking them, try to come up with a solution. Otherwise, unless they don't want you to, then ignore that part. But for the most part, just understand that not everybody is you. So keep that in mind whenever you're pursuing things, doing things that may not receive the support that you initially expected. But at the end of the day, as long as you're consistent and you believe in yourself and you keep pushing yourself forward and you have the mental toughness to endure the times when your voice is not being heard or your brand's not being seen, I feel like you're destined for greatness if you can, have that mentality of just not caring, just doing what you want to do, doing what you enjoy, doing what you love, no matter, regardless if anybody's in attendance or if anybody wants to be a part of it. It's the fact that you're doing it, and you're doing it out of, the sheer tenacity of your will of wanting to pursue your independent path. And that's all I want y'all to take from just watching me develop, and I hope you all are. We're gonna try to get an interview done within, hopefully one done by New Year's. Not gonna promise anything though. We'll see, because again, I can't control if people flake or not. But we'll try to get an episode done on New Year's, and then we're gonna try to have a guest the following January as well. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate all y'all for keeping up with the brand, keeping up with me, following me on all platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, all that good stuff. Keep it up, because we're only going to keep making more content. I'm not going to quit unless I'm physically not able to. And I really love you guys. I hope all of you are having a great December. I pray to all of you have a great Christmas and have a happy New Year. Appreciate you for letting me in your home. Until next time, I'll see you later. Peace.